So let's talk a little bit about why I believe that problem solving behavior and fixing behavior is and can be a form of flight or fight, fight or flight, or trauma response. So basically, as a society, I think that we are not taught how to handle uncomfortable emotion. We're taught how to fix problems. We're a solution-oriented society. And this can be seen really simply when someone says, I've had a rough day at work. Oh, don't worry, it'll get better. Don't worry, it'll get better. In and of itself is a form of problem solving. It's fixing. It's saying, hey, don't worry about it. This is going to get better, but you don't really know that for sure. And what most people are looking for, to be totally honest, when they're complaining about work or something like that, is they're just looking for some sympathy, some empathy, someone to listen to them. So people that are chronically engaging in this sort of problem solving behavior, it's also a form of fixing, right? Like giving advice, unsolicited advice, problem solving, fixing. They're all part of the same thing. And people that do it chronically may be having a difficult time sitting with difficult emotion. Now, they're not sure how to access. They're not sure how to access those emotions. And because they're unaware of what's happening and they're not able to access them in that particular moment, their automatic sort of gut reaction is to problem solve, fix, give unsolicited advice. And this actually robs us of an opportunity, a really, really important, great opportunity to connect. It also may make the person who is talking or sharing, may make them feel dismissed, or that their problem is too much for them, or, let's brush it under the rug. Don't worry about it, right? We're in this toxically positive problem solving culture. And so when somebody is doing that to the detriment of being able to make connections, it can be a sign of that collective trauma that so many people experience, of being unable to acknowledge, understand, access the emotions that they're feeling, because we haven't been taught that. It's scary, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward. So we push away and we give a solution. Do this. Oh, have you tried this? Oh my God, you should do this. That kind of behavior is toxic positivity, and it could be a trauma response, right? Because it's scary to be able to sit there and be with somebody's uncomfortable emotions. It can feel really uncomfortable, and it can feel really scary. It can feel overwhelming to the person who hasn't been allowed to express emotion. And I'm talking about, it can be anyone, any gender. This is not gender specific, but I'm going to make sort of a gender specific example. For example, kids that are taught, don't cry, stop crying. And this is common with boys. Boys don't cry, right? This sort of messaging can send a young child a message that I'm not supposed to feel feelings. I better hush up and buck up and put on a smile and keep going. It's toxic. It's toxic positivity. It's robbing us all of the opportunity to connect, and it's a form of fight or flight. We're running away from these moments of vulnerability. I'm not talking about once in a while giving a solution, giving problems, problem solving, giving advice when it's asked for, but there are some situations where people are just chronically just jumping to give advice, give solutions, problem solve. So next time someone's talking to you and telling you about their rough day they had or some heavy feelings that they're going through, notice what's going on in your body. Instead of jumping to give solutions, try listening. Try repeating what they said, repeating back to them what they said, or getting clarification. So how did that happen? Or wow, that sounds scary. Like, try that first, and then are you looking for advice, or do you just want some moral support? Like, if you're not clear about whether or not they want advice, ask. Like, do you want advice right now? Because unfortunately, too many people are jumping to that advice giving, and it really robs the person who's trying to share their feelings, what they're going through. It robs them of that encouragement to continue being vulnerable. It basically says, don't be vulnerable with me. I can't handle it. It undermines the other person, what they're trying to do and say. And it could be a sign of unresolved trauma, that you are unable to deal with some emotions that are in your body coming up. And when I say in your body coming up, we hold on to emotions in our bodies. In therapy, people talk a lot. We talk a lot in therapy. And so some of the work that we do as somatic therapists is help you get in touch with what it feels like, where those feelings are sitting in your body, so that you can start to recognize them in other situations like these.